Yo, it's your boy Bigger Day. This is the First Game Podcast. If you tuned in on this episode, like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it. Right now, the political atmosphere is all-time high. Everybody is paying attention to politics, and no matter where they go, they're going to talk about something they saw on TV or something they saw in the news or just, differences in politics. But one of these political differences is starting to take a toll in these areas of entertainment. Sometimes music, sometimes simply just watching a TV show. A big example of this was Disney. Critics call Disney was getting too woke and also losing fans due to their wokeness. In 2023 and 2024, Disney had multiple box office underperformances. Movies like the Marvels, Indiana Jones, and the Dial of Destiny, Strange World, and Buzz Lightyear, where they had characters that was homosexual. A lot of critics felt like that was too woke for their child to watch. So due to underperformances, Disney's lost billions. Also, Disney had to cancel shows like The Acolyte, where it starred a black Star Wars character, was canceled. It cost Disney $230 million to produce, but it performed massively due to its woke content. Basically, right now, if you go woke, you go broke. A lot of companies right now are simply feeling the effects of being woke. Now, this leads me into the topic that I want to talk about, the Grammys. Personally, I didn't catch the Grammys, but there was a lot of talk about the Grammys simply from people that was trying to be very woke. The 2026 Grammys was recently aired on CBS. It was hosted by Trevor Noah, where he made all kinds of jokes about Nick Cannon, Valentine's Day, deaf people jokes, but the most highlighted jokes was the jokes towards Nikki, who wasn't in attendance, but she lost a lot of fans from her refound support towards Trump, where a lot of these people in attendance of the Grammys were woke.
Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues. Actually, Nicki, I have the biggest ass. I have it. Everybody's saying it, Nicki. I know they say it's you, but it's me. Wop, wop, wop. Look at it. Look at it, baby. Jennifer. Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues. Actually, Nicki, I have the biggest ass. I have it. Everybody's saying it, Nicki. I know they say it's you, but it's me. Wop, wop, wop. Look at it. Look at it, baby.
Even though that joke might have landed, there were many other controversial statements that were made at the Grammys. For instance, Billie Eilish and her "How Could You Be an Immigrant on Stolen Land" speech.
No one is illegal on stolen land. And yeah, it's just really hard to know what to say and what to do right now. And I feel really hopeful in this room, and I feel like we just need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting, and our voices really do matter, and the people matter. And I say sorry.
Regardless of what statement that was made at the Grammys, it wasn't a good one. The Grammys drawed in 14.4 million viewers, but this was a decline, roughly 6% from last year, 2025 attendance, which had 15.4 million viewers. And 2024 was actually the post-pandemic high of 16.9. From 2026 and 2025, They lost roughly 1 million viewership. I mean, you could say it's all kinds of reasoning for a decline um, of the viewership of the Grammys. I mean, people are probably not interested in these sort of award shows. Um, People are probably watching more TV, especially when you got streaming. There's no actual reason for a decline of the Grammys. But one thing I can say, this is not a good sign, especially they being this woke and also they heading to a company that is losing viewership off of their wokeness. Before you know it, people are not going to pay attention to the Grammys. It's just going to be non important. Any way you look at it, the Grammys is starting to lose viewership year after year after year. It could be because people are starting to notice a lot of people at the Grammys are woke. But this year could have been the icing on the cake for a lot of people, especially conservatives. But this was the biggest kicker about hypocrisy coming from Billie Eilish. She's a very successful musician. And that statement that I recently showed, she made a statement saying that no one is illegal on stolen land, referring to the immigration policies that's being enforced right now. Then she said, fuck ICE. Those type of statements are, pointing towards people like conservatives like me who voted for Trump to enforce immigration laws. And she basically said she's going against it. But the hypocrisy comes is when she said no one's illegal on stolen land, which is kind of ironic that she is a successful musician that lives in a $3 million estate, which is owned by a tribe of the Tongava of LA. This tribe also of indigenous people reached out to Billie Eilish. They told her, hey, since you feel like no one is legal on stolen land, can you give us back our land? Because, a lot of Native people are, feel like that's their land. Billie Eilish has not contacted the tribe about the property. So it shows you these people do not stand on their words about these immigration policies, nor their ideology towards stolen land. Because right now, she's living on stolen land. The indigenous people tribe, they're trying to get back their land, and she has no interest of giving up her land. But you got to realize, man, the Grammys is not moving in a good direction at all. They losing viewership year after year after year. I'm not saying it's off because wokeness. I'm just saying they're not moving in the right direction. Then they also moving to a company that already suffering from wokeness. So them going to ABC is going to be a disaster in the making. But my comment with Billie Eilish, She tried to make a political statement saying that no one is illegal on stolen land, but you are part of stolen land. If you actually believe what you were speaking, give that tribe back their land. And that's the problem that you see on the left. They try to ridicule people on the right. They try to make it seem like they're the most outrighteous person. But when it's time for them to stand on their ideas, they back away. They quiet. They run in the corner. But this year, the Grammys, the Grammys might not. I'm not gonna say the Grammys gonna they're gonna cancel the Grammys, but Grammys gonna be one of them things that is gonna just lose importance. Just like when I saw a picture of Kanye pissing on a Grammy award, it's gonna be meaningless. But other than that, man, like, comment, and subscribe. You already know, man. It's First Game Podcast.